Going to show you how to run this thing that we're calling the Kickoff report. And you can access it from our WebRisk templates and trainings, and then in the client processes folder. And I have them labeled here as O1 and then O1. So what you're going to do is open up the spreadsheet, which is the data inputs, and then also, of course, the Data Studio template. Now, depending on which client you're running this for, you're going to make a copy of it and then sync their data input. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this for one of our current clients just so we have an easier picture here. So I'll use SlideCamp as one of our clients here, one of our new clients. So I'm just going to go ahead and run it for them. So the first thing, of course, I'm going to do is I'm just going to click Make a Copy. And then it's going to give me this input, and there's a lot of these different inputs in this report. The only thing that we need to do now is let's just create a new data source for this client because they shouldn't have one at this point. And I'm just going to go to Slide. There they are right there, SlideCamp. And then all, of course, and then let's use the raw data. And then let's click Connect. And then I'm just going to name this SlideCamp GA. And I'm going to add that to the report. This one here, so what we'll do here is just make a copy of this, and we're going to call this SlideCamp. And I'm actually going to save this to their folder just to make it a little bit easier on myself here. So I'm going to go back to WebRisk Clients. I'm going to save this to SlideCamp. And I save everything to working just so we can work on it without their input there, and I'm going to click Save. Okay. So then what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to ignore that for now because I'll show you how to do it in a second. But what I'm going to do is just do the Search Console one. Search Console, because we're pretty much going to have to recreate these anyways. So site impression, connect. And then, of course, I just like to rename these up here GSC just to make it easier for when we want to find it. And then I'm going to click Create Report. So now let's just go through this and let me show you how to actually populate this because it's a combination of data pulling from Search Console, SCMrush, and then manually formatting. So this first page you don't have to touch here. This is what we're going to run over here internally. So then I'm also going to rename this SlideCamp, just so we have this. And the first thing we're going to do here is go to the Google Analytics dashboard. And what we're going to do is just make sure that this is pulling from the right source, and it looks like it is. Blah, blah, blah. This is all looking good. One thing that we want to check too is this just helps for overall just making sure that the report is pulling properly, is actually pulling up their analytics too to get a feel for what it is that they're tracking, because this report sometimes, so you can see this is tracking goal conversion, but if it's an e-commerce website, we're going to want to change that to e-commerce website. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into this file here, and it looks like no goals are pulling through here, so they might not be tracking them. So what I'm going to do is just come down here to conversions, and let's see if they're tracking any goals. So they're not tracking any goals. And they are not tracking e-commerce. So we'll just leave this for now. But basically, this will be a recommendation that we make in the future to fix that conversion rate. But everything else looks like it's pulling properly. It's pulling from GA. So we're just going to go to the next one here. And this one looks like it's not pulling. So we're going to go here. And what this one should be pulling from should be traffic source. So traffic sources. So we just like to go to source. Let's just make sure that this is pulling properly. So sometimes what I like to do is just go to view here to just check, because what we want to do, so that's actually the wrong one. What we want to have pulling through is, it's not source, but let me see here. So we want to pull through, actually I can get it from the previous one. So we want to be pulling this one, default channel grouping. So default channel grouping is what we want to pull through. So let me just make this change here. So this is going to change this to default channel grouping, and that's good. And then device category, that's working, so this is good. Now we can go on to the next page here to organic traffic trends. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is get a picture of how this website is performing over time. So the whole point of this report here is to give us a very quick and high level analysis so we don't have to dig through it. These are just pre-populated reports that we're going to have you put together. So what we're looking at here is, so this site is new. It looks like they just launched about a year ago, so there's not a lot of historical data. But what we're looking at here is year-over-year comparison. So what you want to do here is just select the last year. So right now today is June 28th. So what I want to do is just get the last full month, which is May. But for example, if today was August, then what I would do, I would pull through June's data and then just go back a year and then just make sure that it's comparing year over year. But again, because this website is new, they don't have year over year data, so this is fine. And again, this should be defaulting to organic traffic, so this is good. So then what we're looking at here, this is just a shorter time period to get actually this is a complete historical time period of the website to make sure that we can see everything historically. So this is going to help us identify trends in the past and anything else that we need to dig into. And then this one here is looking at daily traffic, just so we can identify maybe some peaks on the weekends or trends like that. And again, this one's pulling properly now, but we just want to get a year's worth of data here. But again, because this website is new, it's not fully populating. So this one is good now. The next one that we're going to get here is from SEMrush. This is going to be the keyword ranking. So what I'm going to do is just come up here. Sorry, I got some browser spam happening right now. And I'm going to type in their website, which is slidecamp.io. Okay, then what I'm going to do is come over here and I'm going to grab, I'm just going to format this a little bit so this pulls properly. But what I want to do is get two screenshots here that we can use. The first one is going to be the organic positions distribution trend, which is right here. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of this chart, just make sure we get it properly. That's screenshot number one. The next thing that we're going to do is come over here to organic research. And what we're going to do is we are going to grab a screenshot of this right here. Bang. Okay, we got both of these. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to upload these screenshots. Screenshot one, very straightforward. And then let me get screenshot two. You can see we're having a little bit of sizing issue here, which isn't too much of a problem. I'm just going to shrink this down just a little bit just so we can get it to fit in here. And I'm going to shrink this one down just a little bit just so we can get them to fit in here. And again, I'll just reformat these a little bit. But you don't have to worry about this too much. We can reformat this on our own. So the next thing that we're going to do, this is actually pulling from the spreadsheet here. So what we're going to do is pull down all of these keywords. So we're just going to go here to export all into CSV, save, download it, and then open it. So what we want to do here is, because these columns are already formatted, so this is SEMrush positions right here. All we need is keyword, position, previous. We just need these tabs here. So I'm going to delete all the other things, which is keyword difficulty, and then traffic percentage. So I'm going to delete these, and then I'm just going to highlight these, and I'm going to paste special, just paste the values over it. And then I'm just going to make sure that we only have, we don't. Okay, so actually what I'm going to do is just delete these first. And now I'm going to paste over that, just paste special, just so we only have the ones that we want in here. Okay, so now we have this data in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the data source here. Edit connection, Google Sheets. And then what I'm going to do is search for, we need a new one. So this is going to be right here, the kickoff data input right here. Just let it load, and then we're going to get this SEMrush positions, and I'm just going to click reconnect. Now this should automatically pull through, apply. Let's give this a second, done. And let's just make sure, yep, so this pulled through properly. This is all good right here. So this is cool. Now we can go on to the next slide. Now we're going into Google Search Console data. So what we need to do here is a couple of things. This slide right here, this is manual. So I'm going to come in here to Search Console, and I'm just going to pull up Slide Camp, pull this up right here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is come over here to the mapping. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull down, let me see here, is all the queries. So I'm just going to go to Search Analytics. And I am always going to go to the last 90 days. So we have all the data. Apologies here. Let me just pull. Sorry. Bear with me for a moment. Sorry, hold on one second. Just fast forward through. Sorry, I'm having some browser spam issues here. I'm just going to go ahead and log in on. Just going to get out of here because this is actually really annoying. Sorry. And let me just open this history. Apologies here. Okay. So now we're back in here. So the point is here is what we're doing is we are going to try and pull up. We want to understand how different keywords are affecting their website. And all we're really doing here is we're pulling through data from here. So this one's already connected. You can see here this is good. This is good too. This is pulling from Google Search Console. These ones here are good, but this one right here we need to pull manually. So the way that we do that is we come over here to Search Analytics. Again, we're going to come here to set date range the last 90 days. Just get rid of this. And what we're going to do is download this. I just like to get it in Google Docs. It's a little bit easier. And then here, again, under the queries all, I'm just going to go ahead and just delete these real quick. And then I'm just going to paste these, copy. Okay. I'm just going to paste specialties right on top here. So again, what you're going to have to do, this is a little bit of a manual process here. We want to get the number of branded search versus non-branded search. So this is right here is looking for, so we just need to come in here to these queries. And I'm just going to add a filter here. And what I'm going to do is just click clear. Then I'm going to type in slide camp, just the brand name, and then click OK. So nothing pulled up. Then what I'm going to do is just try maybe their name with a space. And then, okay, so they have no branded search, which is interesting. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to, under branded search, we're just going to type in a 0. Okay, so this is 1430. So what we're going to do here is just come in here for branded search and type in 0. And then for non-branded search, we're just going to take the total amount, which is 1430. And then again, this is pulling through manually, so we just got to make that 0. Make this 100%. And this is actually rare. Sorry, this was 1430, right? Generally, brands will have branded search. This is actually rare that they don't. Okay, so this is now done. This slide is done. We can go on to the next one, which is the All Queries tab. Again, this is pulling from, I'm just going to edit this data source. Go back to Edit Connection. Same thing here. I'm going to pull through Slide Camp Kickoff. And then I'm just going to make sure to map these tabs. This is from the Queries All tab. Queries All, reconnect. Click Apply. This thing pull through, click Done. And then just verify, yep, so this is pulling through. And again, this is weird because this is showing that they're actually having branded search. Let me go back here and double check this real quick. Okay, so there it is right there, slide camp. So let me just go back here. So they have 759. So I'm going to go back here to the summary and I'm going to type in 759. Okay, so that's a little bit of a different story here. So that's actually calculating the wrong way. Okay, so I'm going to come back here to this previous slide. It's always just good to double check these things. I'm just going to put this over here so we can do this easy. So this is 759. So branded search, 759. Non-branded search is 671. So what I actually have to do now is do a division here. So this is going to be this divided by, it was 1430 was the total. And then this divided by 1430 to get these percentages here. Format, paint this. Okay. So yeah, so all you have to do is just recalculate that on your own. It's just branded search divided by total searches, and this is going to be 5308. And this is going to be 46.92. Okay, so now this one's good, this one's done. Come back here to the All Queries tab. So now what we have to do is grab a screenshot here of this here. So I just like to do, for this one, I'd like to grab a screenshot of, sorry, this is for All Queries desktop. Or Google search. Just making some edits here. I'll change this in the page too. So again, last 90 days, then we're just gonna make sure that position's in here too. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this, just so we have the chart. It's a little bit easier than pulling through the data. And I'm just gonna upload this now. Make sure that pulls through. Okay, so it looks like these numbers are a little bit different. So you can see this thing 1952. Again, just make sure to go through and double check these things here. This is saying 1430 for clicks, which is interesting. Let me try pulling this down again. Just to make sure that I got it all here. Interesting. I don't know why this is not pulling through the same amount. Clicks should be, anyways, something you can look into and figure it out on your own. But that should match up. I don't know why it's not. I don't want to bore you to death here though. So the next thing we're going to do is just come back here. This is defaulting to web. Sorry, this is a little bit confusing. I'm going to get rid of this one. This is desktop. Remove. Going to make this one desktop because that's technically what this is. Rename. Desktop search. Okay. So that's desktop. Now I'm just going to pull mobile. So you're just going to come here and go to filter by devices, and we're just going to go to mobile. So this is 171. So again, I'm just going to take a quick screenshot here, and then I'm going to pull this down again. Google Docs. Upload that screenshot. Just going to take this again. Copy this over. Get out of here real quick. And then this is going to map here to Queries Mobile. Same thing, just delete over, paste special, values only. And then I think you should get the picture from here. We're just going to go through. This is the wrong data source. Just going to create new data source. Again, yeah, it's kind of a pain. You have to create new data source for all these things, but I'm just going to come here to slide cam kickoff. And then again, this is going to be in mobile, connect, add to report, add to report. And there it goes, that's pulling through. So the next two slides, you're just going to do video and image search. I'm not going to walk you through how to do that exactly. I'm just going to show you right here that what you're going to do is for, so you have mobile, so you're just going to go to reset. And then you're just going to go to image, and you're going to do the same thing here for image search. You're going to take a screenshot, then pull it down. And then for video, you're going to do the same thing for video, take a screenshot, pull it down, and then pull through the data. That should cover everything. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. And I'll make these edits to the root report. Thanks. Let me know.